What's up, guys? Today we're down here at our Emergency Vehicle Services Division building, which is about a couple miles from our other main shop. And behind me, we've got a Ford Explorer Police Interceptor, as you can see. And we did a lot of work to this car, so we're going to give you a quick tour of everything that we did. So we'll start with the front of the car, and you'll notice that there's a push bar on here, and it looks a little bit different from some of the other push bars we've installed. And that's because this particular one comes with the wings as well as the pit bars on the bottom. So that's what these things are. They're called pit bars because in the event that you need to do a pit maneuver as a police officer, this is going to protect the car from getting damage. In this case, we're in Western Pennsylvania, and this particular department might not be doing a lot of pit maneuvers, but deer are everywhere. So they really were concerned about protecting the car from hitting a deer. We also installed some lights in the grille. You can see the red and blue flashers. These are Whelen lights, and those are paired up with a Whelen light bar on the roof. Of course, red and blue as well. And those are all controlled from a Whelen HHS 4200 controller. We also have flashers in the headlights and red and blue lights. Now those come factory, but we were able to wire those into our aftermarket system. And that's the same as the lights on the mirrors. So those are actually a factory option. We love when departments option it out that way. Everything's just nice and clean, and we can use the pinouts from the factory to tie into our system. So you may be asking on the headlights, why are we only lighting up the red and blue ones versus the other two that are built into the headlight there? And that's because the department requested that. You can either have red and blue or red and white with the factory setup, and the department preferred to have red and blue. And we'll take you around the back of the car. In the rear hatch section, we've got taillight flashers installed, and we also have some Phoenix quad lighting in the rear hatch section. So those are the two that you're seeing on the top underneath the rear spoiler, as well as the quarter glass on the side of the car. So this car is going to have visibility from all angles, red and blue, and like we said, the taillight flashers as well. Let's check out the inside. A lot of times we'll do a full, what we'd call a cage, which is a front and rear partition with a plastic seat. This one is going to be a little bit more comfortable if they have to take you to jail in this car. So we've got a front and rear partition, but we did leave the factory seat in this one. Let's check out the driver's seat. All right, so inside the car, we've got a center console that we installed, and you can see this is that Whelen controller we were talking about, and this is where you control all of your lights and sirens and all of that stuff. This also has something called a park kill, so if you have all of these lights and the siren on, and you are in drive, and you shift to park, it automatically shuts it off. So if you're chasing somebody or whatever, and you need to stop the car, put it in park, and get out, you don't have your sirens blaring behind you. One of the things we do on almost every build is in this center console, you can customize this area a little bit. We always put an armrest for the officer as well as cup holders. You'd be surprised at how many center consoles we see that don't have a cup holder. And these officers spend a whole lot of time in these cars, sometimes entire shifts. And so if you have nowhere to put a drink, I imagine that could be quite irritating. We also have a hole here. This is for the radio. We're waiting on this to show up. And then something else called a magnetic mic. And this is just a simple feature. Steve told me you have to make sure you tell them about the magnetic mic holder. So that's what I'm doing. So you've got this. Our mic slaps on there nice and easy. You don't have to try to find a place to put this. You just slap it on and keep driving. Behind my right shoulder, we've got a gun rack. This was customer supply. This is probably from another vehicle. A lot of times they will reuse some of their equipment as long as it's in good shape, and this one is. So they can store their rifles and shotguns and whatever else they need right here. Easy access for the officer. And that's it for what's going on down here at the emergency services shop with this vehicle. Let us know if you were going to build a police car for your department. What would you include? What would you remove? Maybe you'd add some more lights, a different cage. Let us know. We can do all sorts of different options. If your department needs something, give us a call. Check us out at blackoutempire.com.